So we were in the hotel yesterday and we could see the fires getting closer to the hotel. We repeatedly asked if we needed to leave and they told us no. And then suddenly the smoke was coming over so thick, the ash was falling from the sky, and the Jet 2 rep and the staff just ran out the hotel and just left us there.
Goodness, so are you trapped in a way? What's happening?
So we had to run down the hill just in the thick smoke and then jump on buses and go to a temporary hotel. But Jet 2 never gave us any information. They didn't update us. There was no communication. And then the police ran to our hotel and said, you need to go now, you're not going to make it.
Gosh, what goes through your mind when you're told that?
It was just terrifying. Like, we've got our 11-year-old daughter with us and we were walking down the road at 2 o'clock in the morning and the fire was catching up with us. And I was just thinking, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I didn't think we were going to make it.
And I gather you just had to run without a thought for your safety. It must be such a difficult situation.
Yeah, we just had to keep running, and then the fire was getting closer and it was getting harder to breathe. And then a local guy pulled over in a truck and he pulled us all into the truck and drove us to the beach. And the army was waiting. But everyone was fighting to get onto the boat. There was children falling in the water. It was just awful.
Yeah, we can hear that in your voice. And who was helped? Was it just your family or were others too? What was the situation?
So there was local people that were getting everyone into their cars and driving them to the beach because the water was the only safe place. But there was just no communication from Jet 2 whatsoever. All the other holiday companies had got in touch with their people and let them know where the safe meeting points were, and we just didn't know. We were just running around like with the fire chasing us. And
I guess a great deal of uncertainty, that's one of the problems. What does that do to somebody?
It was just terrifying because I just thought that we weren't going to make it. I just didn't know what to do with my daughter. I was trying to get her to water to protect her, but we just thought the fire was just going to catch up. It was just terrifying.
Are you safe now?
So we got taken onto a boat and taken up to the top of the island, and we were then immediately put on coaches and put into the basement of a school, which is concrete floor. It was just that hot down there. My partner started to have an asthma attack, so we had to come back up to the outside.
That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Adding to the pain and anguish.
Yeah, it was just awful. We're just literally sleeping on like concrete floor at the moment. My daughter has autism and she can't eat unless she's in certain environments, so she hasn't eaten since yesterday.
Have you seen the situation get worse over the past few days? We know that these fires have been burning for a number of days now, but it's clear that the situation is getting worse.
I do feel it was getting worse. Yesterday, the fire just suddenly really took off and the water helicopters just couldn't contain it, and they were still flying people into Rhodes. So people landed in Rhodes and were immediately took to these schools down to the basements. They didn't even get to their hotels.
Have you had to leave some of your belongings behind? It seems it's such a rush to escape the flames.
Yeah, we've lost everything, like all of our belongings. But our hotel's burnt down, so everything's gone.
That's absolutely... you sound distraught, naturally, with what's going on. What have the authorities, what have the hotel said to you?
Nothing. So Jet 2 told us that they didn't know anything and to follow local guidance. There was no local guidance whatsoever until the police ran at us and said, you need to go or you're not going to make it. And the fire was just chasing us down the road. So it was just no guidance whatsoever.
You have made it, thank goodness. Has that added to your anxiety, not knowing what to do when you're faced with such a disaster, a catastrophe?
Yeah, 100%. If we had the guidance there and we were given a safety point, we would have known where to go to, but there was just nothing. So, it was just carnage. Everyone was just running around. There was children screaming and parents were collapsing. There was just so much going on.
And do you feel in a situation like this, you were on your own as a family? You say your child has autism, your partner had an asthma attack. It's bad enough, isn't it, trying to get out of the fires without that going on? Are other families been in a similar position trying to escape, or is it a time like this you just have to really think of yourselves and make that your priority?
Well, there was a group of us from the hotel, and we tried to stick together, but there were certain times when the fire was so close behind us, we just had to just think of ourselves and keep going, because I just didn't think any of us were going to make it out alive until the locals picked us up.
Absolutely terrifying. How are you feeling now?
Just traumatised, to be honest, and we're just hoping that someone helps us today, because we're just sleeping on that concrete floor.
Any idea when you might get out? Is that your priority, or will you want to stay until things quieten down? It seems you're desperate to leave.
Yeah, I'm just really scared in case the fires end up coming up to where we are at the top of the island. But right now we just need a shower and a bed, I think, and some food.
But you're in a terrible situation, aren't you? Saying sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, literally, and there's like this baby just literally sleeping on concrete floor. Their parents have had to rip up cardboard boxes to put them on.
Did you think things might be this bad? I mean, presumably you knew that fires were around, but nobody could have predicted things would have taken such a terrifying turn.
No, we weren't aware at all of the severity of it, and they were still flying people in yesterday when the half the island was on fire. They just shouldn't have been doing that.